Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to another episode of Train Simulator Classic. Today we're in the fantastic Armstrong Powerhouse Enhanced Class 158 in the Northern by Arriva livery. So obviously this is a few years ago now. We're sat at Heaton Lodge Junction, which is just between Huddersfield and Dewsbury, awaiting a late running Transpennine Express service to passers. Now that's going to go on this line down here. It's quite it's my favourite section of track. It's Heaton Lodge Junction. You can just see it. It's a Class 802 over there. So it's the fast lines that come from Huddersfield. They dive under here on this single track section. The other line obviously comes in here. It's what we call a flying junction or a dive under. And there it goes, whizzing past there. I actually used to stand with my dad on that bridge when I was little, and that bridge down there watching Class 158s in Northern Spirit livery, whizzing backwards and forwards, obviously before the 185s, so that was a good few years ago now, wasn't it? But it's a shame because this bridge that we're about to go under, in front, has actually been pulled down now. It's not there anymore. I don't know what the plans are for this bridge, whether they're keeping it. Obviously, there's a lot of work happening with the Transpennine route upgrade. Excuse me, the flipping cough. Yes, I don't know if they're actually planning on keeping that. I hope they are, because it's a nice little bridge, to be honest with you. Now, what are we going to be doing today? We're operating a semi-express service. Now, these Calder Valley services that we're operating today, this one will have come from Manchester, Victoria. Actually, at the top there, 1549 Wigan Wallgate to Leeds. So we're going to be stopping at Mirfield, Dewsbury, Batley, Morley, and finally Leeds. So this is a MagicToad scenario. It is available via his website. There's a link in the description there. I have downloaded all of the requirements. I've actually read the README. Right, off we go. Yeah, I've read the README, so we should have no hassle here at all, because I do seem to have everything. Right, off we go. Do you know what? I think just for an extra little bit of sound there, we'll open them windows. Doesn't it sound good? Right. Full steam ahead. I can see we've got a red signal ahead, obviously, so we're just going to play caution to the wind with that one. But that Transpennine happened as I was speaking. That Transpennine should have got out the way, and after this signal, the next signal is on the platform at the end of Mirfield. It's at the end of the platform at Mirfield, where we'll be stopping anyway. So we'll get us foot down. But oh, hang on, what's happening here? There's something. Oh. We've got a case of runaway wagons here. I purchased them from Alan Thompson Sims, £6.99. Oh, there's no 68. Do you reckon we should call somebody for the self-propelled wagons there? No idea. I'm pretty sure that should have a GBRF 66 on the front, because that was in the requirements. I'm not too sure what's happened there, but do you know what? We didn't see anything, did we? We'll carry on. That could be somebody else's problem. Do you know? I love Train Simulator. It never fails to throw up a curveball there. Rightio, coming round into Mirfield now. We'll have a little bit of braking. Obviously, at one point on the left-hand side there was a huge engine shed at Mirfield. Mirfield Station actually used to have a canopy above it. It's hard to believe now when you look at it, but yeah, it used to have a canopy. It looked quite a grand station, almost like Darlington. Alright, I'm lying, it didn't look quite as grand as Darlington, but it did look a lot more sort of important and less run down than it does now. Obviously, things have changed since this particular era of simulation, because now the Platform 2 platform has completely gone. There's a lot been happening with the Transpennine route upgrade. Obviously, this is all due to change in the upcoming years. In upcoming months, things are going to continue to change. Where are we now? Let's just... we're fully on the platform. So we've got stop car boards for Class 185s. There we go. We'll just slowly... Splendid. Bob it in neutral there. Right, so yeah, if we're... it's lovely, isn't it? The 158 is such a beautiful train. I absolutely love it. Yeah, this platform's completely gone now. You used to have quite a kink, so you'd be on the 185s. You'd be sort of thrown about a bit here. Then you'd have the straight platform, and you'd be thrown about again. Whereas now this track actually comes a lot more sort of further out this sort of round here, so you get a much smoother curve because obviously there's going to be many changes. I can't remember, is it that platform that's shutting? Yes, it is. Right, hang on. Bob it in forwards. Excuse me. Yeah, so this island platform is here to stay. So what is now the fast lines will become the slow lines, and then they're going to put another track in round here that will be the fast lines. This platform's going, and then there's going to be some sort of flyover around Ravensthorpe. It all looks very, very impressive what they've said they're going to do, to be honest with you. It's I know that a lot of problems that TransPennine face on this route is just the sheer amount of trains that whiz up and down. There's so many trains, and it only takes a stopper to have a problem for 5 minutes at, say, I don't know, Batley, and it causes absolute mayhem. So yeah, it really is. This particular area here is going to give so much more opportunities for overtaking. So it's going to be seriously impressive when it's done. I mean, I really like this layout of track here, so I'm not going to lie to you, I will be a little bit sad when it changes, because I have a lot of fond memories from when I was little of this track round here. So yeah, I will be quite sad, but it's just one of those things. Change, progress, it all needs to happen, doesn't it? Hopefully it'll mean that there can be more reliable journeys, more of them. Hopefully more express services. Right, so we're whizzing, you can see the line there, that's you go along that if you're turning off towards Mirfield. That's why there's bi-directional signalling here, so if we were on Mirfield we'd be on this particular track now. Oh, we've got a double yellow there, so the TransPennine must be in the platform still at Dewsbury, otherwise that would be flashing. Ravensthorpe, we're not stopping on these ones, it's only Ravensthorpe gets 1 an hour, that's the Leeds Huddersfield stopper. Present day, June 2024, that's operated by TransPennine Express. There you go, we've got the Wakefield-Kergate line round there. There is a rumour, been bounded around, that these stoppers will be going back to Northern. I've not actually seen anything in writing to say that's definitely happening. You know what the railway's like for rumours, but yeah, there is rumours. There we go, look at that, bit of 75 mile an hour. 158, obviously a much slower unit than the 185 in terms of up to speed. But yeah, I like bouncing around here at 75 because it just reminds me of how 158s used to be, because obviously they used to operate this route as the express intercity DMU. I do always feel a bit sad when I see 158s on the little stopping services. I think, you know, these were at one time the pride of the north and the south. You know, they obviously ran around Cornwall as well, didn't they? 158s and Wales and, you know, Scotland, everywhere. You know, 158s everywhere on the prestigious intercity routes. So yeah, when they're on little stopping services, I do feel quite sad. You know, when they're on a Southport and it's all stopping at places like Meals Cop. I've never been there. I'm sure it's lovely, but you know, it should just be an intercity unit, shouldn't it? Right, here we go. Nothing overtaking us. By the looks of things at Dewsbury, we've got the signal straight out. There we go. I don't know if we've got a. I think we do have a stop board at Dewsbury, don't we? Just at the end of the station canopy. That sounds about right, doesn't it? There we go. A little bit more. That is a pretty good stop, if I do say so myself. That'll do. Look at that, right at the stop board. Bang them doors open. I do really, really like this route. The actual sort of dovetail gamesy bit was a little bit lazy. It's really missing some super elevation, isn't it? Like, I wish Armstrong Powerhouse will come and enhance this route, because a lot of the tracks have the camber on, you know, like what they've got on the London to Bedford now. They do have the camber on them, so you sort of get a real sensation of speed, like you're winding in and out. So I'm hoping that they will enhance this route eventually. In terms of the actual scenery, I think it's pretty decent, to be honest with you, but the track just, you know, it could just flow a little bit better. You've got a lot of corners that sort of are like straight corner, rather than a smooth curve, particularly between Huddersfield and Manchester, which I thought was really disappointing when we first played this route. But I'm hoping that eventually that'll all be fixed. Now that Armstrong Powerhouse have sort of, because they've more or less enhanced every main unit. I mean, I know that there's people that want a Voyager enhancement, myself included. I would love a completely new Voyager for this. I think the Just Trains one doesn't look right. Don't get me wrong, it's my favourite Voyager out of the two. The Dovetail Games one doesn't look right either and sounds absolutely abhorrent. It's awful, isn't it, the Dovetail Games Voyager? I'm not a fan. The sound sort of reminds me of the 180. Again, absolutely diabolical sounds on that 180. But we could look at it, at least the Voyager doesn't crash the game, does it? So, you know, it's one of them. But yeah, I'd love someone to come and build a Voyager from the ground up. You know, a really, really good looking train that sounds fantastic and handles, you know, like Imbue that did the 185. If they partnered up with Armstrong Powerhouse, I think that'd be an absolutely fantastic product. Really, really good product, that. Right, are we ready? Stopped at Dewsbury long enough now. Raring to go. Right, here we go. Full steam ahead. Batley, your next stop. It's quite a steep uphill now to Batley. Well, to Morley Tunnel, pretty much. What we've got out the window there, the road that the 268 from Dewsbury to Bradford goes up and down. I remember very fond memories with my grandma and granddad. We used to go out just bus riding for the sake of it. Used to always get that down into Dewsbury. It was a lovely memories. Used to sit and watch the trains. Used to like the whooshers, as we called them, that used to go flying through, not stopping. Oh, brilliant. It's always nice flying through stations on an express service, isn't it? I feel like you've got a real sense of speed, particularly around this this, I said particularly too many times now, but this particular section of line is possibly my favourite in the country between Huddersfield and Leeds. I love it. You know, when you get a clear run and you don't stop at Dewsbury and you're just flying along at 75 on a 185, you're bouncing around all over the place, you get just such a sensation of speed. And particularly when you go flying through Dewsbury and, you know, around Batley, it does feel like you are flying almost. I know that sounds like such a ridiculous thing to say, but... And that section before Dewsbury, around Ravensthorpe, it's all elevated tracks, so you're above everybody else, you're whizzing along, it's such a lovely sensation. Right, here we go, flying over the Batley Bridge there. See, like, what I mean? You just, I mean, we're not doing 75, that would by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still lovely. Right, into Batley. A little bit more braking. No, we're not going to stop. That'll do. I think the 158s sort of stop in the middle of the platform, don't they? That S-car board down there is just for 185s. I don't think that they go right to the end. I'm happy to be proved wrong in the comments there, but I think they just sort of, you know, I always seem to remember that they sort of stop about there-ish. Maybe they go to the end, I don't know, but I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? So long as everything's accommodated, we'll be fine. Obviously, I'm not a train driver. I've never driven a train. I've driven a simulator. I got to have a go on the 185 simulator at Ardwick. That was brilliant. Did make me wonder though, flipping it. Come out of there, palms were sweating, all sorts. Oh, I was right nervous. It felt like the real thing. Right, off we go. Yeah, I say my palms... Oh, hang on. Back to... shall we try step 5 for a little bit longer? Yeah, I say that my palms were sweating from being in the simulator. It wasn't the actual driving of the train that was stressing me out. They'd just upgraded the system, apparently. And with a new couple of scenarios. So there were things like when your AWS went off and you pressed it, nothing had happened. So it'd be like it got stuck on. And then my manager set me up with... where there was... bad adhesion, so we went flying through a station. I was like, no! So literally, I dealt with about 8 or 9 incidents in the space of about 15-20 minutes. So, you know, I was probably sweating more because it was just disaster after disaster that drivers may have to face on you know, whilst out driving. So that was probably why I was more stressed out, was the fact that, you know, not the actual getting the train from A to B. Oh dear. It was good fun though. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I could be a train driver, you know. I'd love to do that. Just need someone to give me the flipping opportunity. Just never seems to come round, does it? The only downside is if I did get a train driver's job, there's obviously so much to learn, isn't there? That I'd have to spend so much time studying. I don't actually know whether I'd have much time to be doing the YouTube, which is sort of bittersweet, isn't it? It's great to be able to, you know, follow a childhood dream, but if it's at the expense of this, then ooh, it's difficult. It's a difficult one. Into Morley Tunnel now. Not seen anything go the other way in quite a while. Oh, quite literally, speak of the devil. That'll be the Saltburn Manchester Airport. Or Redcar Manchester Airport. I don't know whether this was a Saltburn era or not. Probably not if it's Arriva. It's probably Redcar Central Services. Morley Tunnel actually goes under the M62. You can see one of the ventilation shafts from the M62. If you look out, if you're heading eastbound, if you look out the right-hand side of your window, while you're on the M62, you'll see a big, just a big round circular brick thing, and that's yeah, that's the ventilation shaft for this line. You can actually see it on Google Maps. Right, so powering up to Morley here, I reckon. We'll bob a bit of step 1 in now, because if you look on the timetable, we don't actually have timings to be at these places. So Morley, we're running late. We're actually due out at 55, so we're about a minute or 2 down. We'll blame that 802 that caused that. Just see the obviously this is old Morley as well, because with the Transpennine route upgrade, Morley has got a completely new station. They've completely rebuilt it. They've moved it. So now, obviously, this is 55 out of here. You can go a damn sight faster than that, I think. Is it 70 round here now? They whiz round here. It's a little bit disconcerting. You don't slow down as much. Let's have a bit of step 2. Oh, there's another Transpennine 185 there. I'm assuming that is the Leeds Huddersfield stopper. That. I love the camber here. Such a gap there. Obviously it's cambered so that the express trains can whiz around faster. Now this has been straightened out. Oh, 185's off. Off he goes. I think the doors are open on that 185. Yeah, front and back coach. It's such a shame that Alan Thompson Sim don't update that, because it really does need an update. There's a lot of bugs with it. And it just sort of feels like they've forgotten about it a little bit with the release of the Flirt. I really do wish they'd do something with it. New Morley station is sort of a bit more round here now. It's a bit of a shame because it's very grey, you know. They could have done so much with it. you know, if we nip outside, there we go, right. Because obviously the old Morley, you've got that lovely brickwork, you've got obviously the red and cream, or red and white poles from Metro. It's just such a shame that they've not done, you know, they've not sort of made it a bit more red and cream to sort of fit. It's very grey. A lot of stations are now, aren't they? Modern stations, they are grey. I particularly like what they've done with the bridge at Door and Top. They've painted it in the old Midland Railway colours. Instead of just leaving it a grey metal bridge, it's sort of the East Midlands purple and cream. Really, really good look. It goes to show, doesn't it? A lick of paint can just make something look a lot nicer. I'm hoping eventually they'll do that at Morley. It'll make it look lovely, won't it? But I guess Metro, they're on like West Yorkshire Combined Authorities. It's different colours now, isn't it? So yeah, maybe maybe that's what they're going for. Obviously the new White Rose station, not featured on this as well. That's sort of here. It's on the straight bit, isn't it? Just before Cottingley. Well, there was the thing about closing Cottingley station, but the last I heard, they decided they weren't going to close it anymore, so I don't know quite what's going to happen with that one. On a little downhill now into Leeds. Oh, stand back, sir. Cottingley there, another one that receives an hourly service, not half an hourly. I believe a couple of these northerns do stop there at peak time, but yeah, off peak it's just the Leeds Huddersfield stoppers that stop there. We'll just coast towards Leeds now. Past the last station, Leeds is the next stop, in approximately 5 minutes. 4.5 minutes now. That's a bit more braking. Can run away with you. You don't want it to run away with you there. More braking. Should also get a for the warning. This magnet will set off. There we go. Like clockwork, isn't it? So 50 mile an hour for us. Step 1, you've got the East Coast Main Line coming over the top there. That goes down towards Wakefield and Doncaster. Get your cross countries to Sheffield, Derby and Birmingham that go down there. So this is another thing, like from the left here, this line should sort of come down a bit more. It's completely flat here. It should be higher up. If you get what I mean, like this is level at this point and it's not in real life. Because you see the Copley chord here, that is actually on quite a steep gradient going up. So that, yeah, they've sort of messed it up a little bit, this section. Yeah, that single line chord is a lot sort of steeper. Because you get 158s powering up towards Bradford Interchange up there. Go around that corner there. Alright, a bit more braking. These reds are not for us, so we don't need to worry about that. Slow down to 25 mile an hour. Oh, 170. That'll be on the Arrogates, won't it? No, it won't actually. Not on that line. Flipping it, Joe. Come on. I think that'll probably be standing in for a 195. Yeah, MagicToad always uses the 170s, 3 cars and 2 cars in the Northern livery to stand in for 195s. It's a shame we don't have a 195 yet, but from what I've heard, there's one in the pipeline, so fingers crossed. Right, so that was a yellow. Next signal's probably a red. I don't know. No, we can't look out the left-hand window and see. Another 185 there. Is that the Hull to Piccadilly? What have we got? Oh, we've got a signal. That'll do. coming in on line E. Platform 13. So that's a bay platform that the Leeds Huddersfield stoppers use. And of course the Leeds Manchester Victorias. Because they're every half an hour they seem to they use these. What have we got in? We've got a 170 over there, and a Zoomer. A 333. Good lord, excuse me. My apologies. Yeah, the 365/333 coming out there. I wonder, does it sound like one? Yes, it does. I love it. I love it. I was just saying earlier, it's such a shame they've never done a 333 for this. It does seem like a really, really good network of routes. Leeds to Skipton, Leeds to Ilkley, Bradford Foster Square to Skipton, Ilkley and Leeds. Yeah, it'd be really nice with a 333 there. Hell, I'd pay good money for that. It'd be a nice little route. Plenty of scenarios to keep you occupied. You could run 91s up there, freight trains. There's absolutely loads. I'd probably pay about 40 quid for that. Seems like quite a nice little closed network that Dovetail would enjoy doing, but there we go. What do I know? Right, well, there we go. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I do hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, please do click the like button. It's always appreciated, and do consider subscribing so that you never miss out on any future Train Simulator episodes. I think that's a pretty good stop. Yeah, if you want to go get the scenario, check that out in the description below. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you all next time. Cheerio! Goodbye for now.